propio país me juzgó y me humilló.
So let us start with you, Jodie. You play Marguerite. Your performance is so gripping and amazing.
Thank you.
I want to know how or where did you find the strength and the right mindset to connect to a woman like Marguerite and play such a powerful and difficult role?
Yeah, I mean, God, it's a big question because I think a lot of preparation and what kind of goes into my acting is sometimes not necessarily consciously. You know, I very much like to leave a lot to the day. And strangely for me, since being a teen, and my emotions have always been very kind of on the surface, and that kind of material is something I've always really loved to kind of connect with and explore. So how did I do it? How did I prepare?
You're a good actor.
Thank you, Nicole.
That's really all. She's cast in the part. She showed up, and she does it beautifully.
And you know, when I got the script, and it was based on a book, so you have, you know, you have some information there. You can delve into the history and really try and uncover and find out what it was like to be a woman in this time. You know, and let alone to experience what Marguerite experienced. So yeah, all of that, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so Nicole, you wrote the script with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. So this is a two-part question. How do you enter a collaboration with two people who know each other so well and have worked before? And how did you do it? Because I know you each wrote from each character's perspective, and I find that very, very interesting. I want to know, how did that work? How did you communicate, and how did you find the cohesion between the parts and each perspective?
Well, they were incredibly welcoming to me and grateful to have me on. So it was a wonderful entrance into the experience of writing it with them. They're really, really nice people and really interested in collaborating and hearing what I had to say. So I started out writing Marguerite's character, and first showed them some pages to make sure I was on the right track, especially with the language. And they said, it sounds good to us. Not that, you know, they knew that much more than me. But so eventually we all collaborated on all parts because we couldn't really work in isolation. It had to track. And I think we respected each other's opinions so much that we wanted to hear what the other had to say about all the sequences and every scene. So ultimately it was just a collaboration.
And as an actor, Jodie, did you approach each of these three chapters in a different way? What were the directions you received as to how to play Marguerite from each point of view?
Yeah, well, it was tricky because we shot these perspectives one after the other, you know, so when we came to a scene, we would do each take straight after each other. So I'd always kind of have a check-in with Ridley and everyone who was around, and just really make sure that we were clear as to whose narrative we were in. It was interesting because usually you come to a piece and you have one character, one perspective, one intention, and I was having to actually play into the men's idea of who I was. So I think, you know, how you do that is you know the relationships between the characters. For instance, with Matt, with Carouge, in his world, it's a loving relationship. He's a hero. He's my husband. He's a provider, and you know, this is a marriage that is enjoyable, at least in his eyes. He doesn't see it from how I feel it. So when you kind of know that, then you can afford to play around with the scenes, just knowing what the kind of the meat and bones of it is.
You mentioned Ridley. It is fascinating to me how he's such a prolific filmmaker at 83. He's got not only one but two possible Oscar contenders coming out this year. I want to know, Jodie, what did you learn working with such an experienced and legendary director?
Gosh, his attention to detail, I think. He's meticulous, you know, nothing nothing goes by him. You know, he does his own storyboards, and he has 4 to 5 cameras rolling the entire time. I really enjoy his way of working. It's extremely efficient. It's fast-paced, but it's productive. And it really creates an energy on set and forces everyone to be, not forces, but encourages everyone to be really present. And that was really enjoyable.
So, Nicole, this story is set 600 years in the past, but its themes of rape and sexual assault and scrutiny of victims, public scrutiny, is so relevant today. So how do you write a story that's set in the 14th century that tackles such a timely subject without falling maybe into anachronism? Sorry.
Yeah. You know, of course, we were very aware that this could, you know, relates to what's happening right now in the world, and in some places much worse than others, obviously. But I think I tried to just focus on Marguerite and the time and her and the story. I couldn't really write for anything else. I think writers, I think, generally just want to write the characters, and so I didn't try to write so that people would think, oh, this is so contemporary, this is still happening. It seemed like an inevitable thing, you know, that people would think and feel. I didn't have to try.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so finally, Jodie, on a lighter note, I loved your little Killing Eve reunion in the film with Harriet Walter, who plays your mother-in-law. I feel like you have established a rapport with her, and I feel like maybe you like being scorned by her.
That's right.
That works so well. Yeah, so did you feel like at some point you were playing maybe Villanelle and Dasha in the film?
Oh God, no! No way. We were so far removed from it. But I love Harriet. Like, she has a wicked sense of humor, and she's the first person to make a joke of herself, you know. And when you just witness how incredibly talented she is, and she's also so much fun. You know, we were kind of pinching ourselves. We were like, oh, we can't get rid of each other. And I think we're fine with that. Yeah, we're happy with that.
She can be so scary, stern on camera, and she's such a lovely woman. I mean, she's an actress, so.
Han presentado en tu contra una terrible acusación.
Jacques Legris entró en nuestra casa.